My next guest will make his UFC debut on December the 5th when he meets Cody Durden. And of course, the Brick himself is here, Jimmy Flick. How are you, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. And again, man, life for you has changed since you had that unbelievable performance at Contender Series, beating Nate Smith, submitting him in the third round. Tell me, how different is life for you now that you're an official UFC signed fighter?
Hey, man, it's a dream come true, man. To go around my hometown and people just keep congratulating me, thanking me, and being like, holy cow, it's really Jimmy Flick. When I've always been the one like, holy cow, it's John Bones Jones, it's Clay Guida, And then now I got people actually excited to see me and have me sign, give signatures and talk to people. It's a dream come true for sure.
I'm sure you get a lot of people that want to take pictures with you and whatnot. What does your family think of that when they see you out and people are coming up to you? I mean, you're a celebrity now, so how are they reacting to that?
My little girl's asked a lot of questions about it, so I try to explain it to them. And my wife, it's a little overwhelming for her. She's been getting people contacting her, messaging her on Facebook, sending her friend requests as well, because I'm all out of friend requests. So if anybody wants to follow me, follow my fan page, Jimmy the Brick Flick, and I appreciate the support. And it's amazing, man. I'm super excited. I know 2020 has been a tough year for a lot of people, but 2020 has been my year, and I plan on ending it with a bang December 5th.
Yes, sir. Now, I talked to you via text after your fight at Contender Series where you beat Nate, but we haven't talked via interview form just yet. So I want to dive into that, man, and just get your overall take about that fight. I mean, you guys broke a record for submission attempts, and it was just nonstop, man. You really put the whole MMA world on notice just about how dangerous you are on the ground. What is your overall takeaway from that fight?
Oh, man, the experience was amazing, man. From the time I got off the plane to the limo to my hotel to everything, man. The UFC is amazing, and it's everything I thought it would be. Even during quarantine, man, they take amazing care of us. They provide for us and my cornerman. It's amazing. And the fight was awesome, man. No fans, but in front of Dana White himself, my first time ever fighting in front of Dana. And I didn't know how he would react, especially since I turned it into a grappling match. But I stayed active. I showed that I love to finish, and I never stopped trying to finish the fight. And then got to finish in the third round and put away an undefeated guy. And now I'm getting ready for 11-2-1, Cody Durden. The guy's got a lot of experience. I'm excited for the fight. I don't think he likes all the hype around me, but I told him come December 5th, he's going to see that the hype is real.
No, we'll dive into that here shortly. But as far as that Nate fight goes, man, you had him, it looked like you had him finished on multiple occasions, and he was able to gut through it, and he showed a ton of heart. Were you surprised about how many times you had to go and try and submit this guy before you finally got him?
Yeah, man, I was surprised, but that's where no fans came into play for Nate Smith. His coach was very good at seeing everything I was throwing. And no fans, you can hear the coaches perfectly, So Nate was able to hear everything. His coach was trying to stay one step ahead of me. And come the third round, I got a step ahead of them. I locked up that head and arm choke, and I wasn't going to quit. But once I got that choke, I knew it was over. I was hoping to put him to sleep earlier in the fight. I had the triangle. I tried to break the arm, I mean, that's just how the sport goes. I mean, the guy could have tapped. You could see Herb Dean. He was like, hey, let me know what's going on. I mean, I thought it was going to snap, and his elbow rolled a little bit. Then we locked him up in the triangle. We locked him up in the guillotine. I swear that guy gurgled about 30 times the whole time I was choking him. And sucks that the UFC only gave me like 6 submission attempts, because I went back and there's like 12. So I don't know what they consider an actual submission attempt, but the guy was fighting the submissions like crazy, and I never stopped throwing them out. And I showed a little bit of my stand-up, but we're hoping to show a little more against Cody Durden.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of quick knockouts and finishes in Contender Series, but I got to tell you, man, for my money, I've watched every single Contender Series event so far. And your fight with Nate Smith was my favorite. It just bell to when it was finished. I mean, the action was unbelievable. And so again, tip of the cap to you on such an amazing performance. And you really, really, again, put the world on notice with that big win. Now, were you nervous about maybe getting a contract? Because, historically speaking, Dana's looking for first round finishes or quick finishes, but you did put on a clinic there. Did you feel like you did enough, or were you still a little bit nervous before he called your name?
Oh man, I was 100% nervous, man, because you never know, man. I didn't get to see Dana's reaction during the fight. I didn't get to hear what Daniel Cormier was saying during the fight. That's what people don't understand. So they were hyping me up very well. I didn't know Daniel Cormier said give me a contract, but I was watching on the TV live when Daniel Cormier put me at the #1. I was super confident there. But I knew William Knight was going to get a contract. I thought Ronnie Lawrence was going to get a contract because what he did against Jose, man. And Jose's a beast, dude. And I've known Jose for a long time. So that had me a little worried. And knowing that how many contracts were given out that year and that season, I was just like, man, I really hope I get this contract, man. And when he came up and he started talking, and when I knew I was going to get that contract was when he said that he was bringing Nate Smith back. And when I heard that he said he was going to bring Nate Smith back, I was pretty confident he was going to give me that contract. And when he said it, you could see the excitement. And I was super pumped, man. And now I'm ready for December 5th. They tried to get me in a little sooner, but everything didn't work out. But then now it worked out for December 5th versus Cody Durden.
Did you get a chance to talk to Nate after the fight at all? What did he say if you did?
No, we didn't. We just paid respects. He did give me a shout out on social media, and I gave him a comment back telling him he's a beast, and we'll probably see each other in the future, especially if he comes back on the Tuesday Night Contender and gets a chance to earn him another contract.
Yes, sir. How did you celebrate afterwards? Did you get a chance to do anything, or you just kind of spend some quality time with your family?
Yeah, man. We the following week I turned 30 years old on Labor Day. So my wife went out and bought us a campsite. We took the kids out there, had some friends and family out there, and we camped all weekend. And I just got fat, drank beer, did some fishing, some boating, and spent time with the family. In Las Vegas, though, after the fight, you're not allowed to go out unless you're going to pay yourself. Go pay for your own hotel and fly yourself home. So to keep fighters quarantined from getting COVID, they take you right back to the hotel, and we just hung out in the hotel until the next day. But when I got back, spent a lot of time with family, friends. That's why I kind of tried to hold off on booking my fight, because I fought in February, I fought in July, and then I took the Tuesday Night Contender on 4 weeks' notice, 9 days after the LFA title fight. So it all worked out great, and now we're going to end the year with our 4th win.
What is your beer of choice, or what was it when you went camping? What were you drinking?
Bud Light, man. I'm a Bud Light guy, but also whoever sponsors the UFC, I'll start drinking that as well.
Smart man right there. Now, I understand your wife was going to be starting up a new business here at some point soon. Did you guys get that up and running, or is that something you're still working on?
Unfortunately, we're still working on it because of me. We've have everything in set. All the work's almost done, and she's got her license. She's got her permits. We're getting the LLC license, and with COVID, it's kind of, we don't want to do it too soon. So we're looking to open up at the beginning of next year. Why should we have a better chance of being successful?
Very cool. Well, I wish you nothing but the best as far as that goes as well. Now, there's been a lot of GOAT talk lately with Khabib retiring, and I wanted to get your take. You've been in combat sports your whole life. You're a fighter and you're also a fan. When you look at that, discussion in general, as far as like who's the best ever, who comes to mind for you? Is there a couple of guys that you feel are at the top of that Mount Rushmore?
Oh, yeah. Khabib for sure, man. I love Khabib. I even say I got the Khabib wrestling with the Damian Maia Jiu-Jitsu, and that's what I proved on the Tuesday Night Contender show. There's so many fighters up there. We got Stipe Miocic. Man, that guy's just killing it at heavyweight. I'm excited to see him and Francis Ngannou fight again. Francis has been on a tear at heavyweight. We got Adesanya, man. That guy and his kicks are just something else, man. And I just love watching these guys. And now I get a chance to meet them and hopefully be one of those guys here in the next couple years.
Yes, sir. Now, we talked before, and you actually had to fight up a weight class because, and this was a few times, because you were worried that the UFC was going to be getting rid of the flyweight division. And thank goodness they haven't. And when I look at all the great 125-pound fighters that are out there, I mean, is it kind of still just mind-boggling to you to think that they were even considering it at some point to get rid of the division?
Yeah, man, it changed my career. It took me a lot longer to get there too because of that. Because I didn't want to hold off on not fighting, man, and I didn't want to chance my opportunity at staying active and beating some of the top guys in the world outside of the UFC. And when they said that, man, I thought the best move was to fight at 135. I took a loss, had a minor setback. And then after the minor setback, they brought back the 125-pound division. I knew that's where I belonged. So we got back to it. And I'm just excited that they're signing fighters left and right. I'm a little disappointed that Cody Garbrandt's not fighting for the 25 title now because I thought that was going to bring us some more exposure. But I hope he still plans on fighting at 125. And the guy I've been trying to fight, Brandon Royval, I even told you, man, I'm chasing that guy. He won the LFA title in 23 seconds. I won it in 38 seconds. And now he's got 2 fights in the UFC with 2 bonuses about the top fight for the #1 contender, you know. I'm trying to follow that guy's footsteps and hopefully fight that guy in the future.
Obviously, you're completely, dialed in on Cody Durden right now. But if you do get this win, are you hoping Royval is who you fight next?
Obviously, I don't think that'll be the fight I get because of the fact of how quick he jumped the rankings. And he would probably have to take a loss against Brandon Moreno. But I'm pushing for the Jussier Formiga fight, man. Jussier Formiga is on a 3-fight losing streak. He hasn't fought in, I believe, close to a year, but he's still in the top 10. I believe he's one of the best grapplers in the UFC at 125. I also feel like I'm going to be the new top 125 grappler. So I want to get that win, and that's a fight I'd like to call for, or at least get a top 15 opponent would be a dream come true.
For sure. What's your pick for the upcoming title fight between Figueiredo and Perez? Who do you see winning that?
I got to go with Figueiredo, man. I don't think Alex Perez's kicks are going to work like as dominant as they did against Figueiredo and Jussier Formiga. And so I think it's going to be a great fight. I think they're going to stand up. They're going to trade. And I think the champ's going to retain his title with a 4th-round KO TKO.
Yeah, I agree. I got Figueiredo there as well. All right, let's dive into this fight with Cody, man. I can't wait for this. Tell me, how has this camp been? How healthy are you feeling right now?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great. I'm healthy. I'm strong. Weight's on point. The UFC gave me close to 10 weeks when we started discussing this fight. So we've been at it, man. CrossFit Sand Spring, Forza Combat, Thunderkick Tulsa, Primate BJJ. I'm all over the place here in Tulsa. Everybody's like, are you going to go to these big gyms, a.k.a. Albuquerque, New Mexico, all that? No, I'm not. I'm born and raised here in Oklahoma. I'm like Bryce Mitchell. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. We made it to the UFC in our hometown training here. I just took out a guy in 38 seconds that was training out of Albuquerque, New Mexico with Greg Jackson and Winkle John. And then I just fought Nate Smith, which trains at Team Elevation with Peter Straub. You know, now we're fighting Cody Durden, which his coach is a UFC fighter, Diego Lima's brother, I believe, right? I don't know how. I know they both got names close to each other. So their affiliation with American Top Team. So it's another great opponent out of another big gym and going to be another good win for my resume.
It's interesting because Cody's first fight in the UFC, as someone that you know pretty well, he took Gutierrez to a draw. And back in 2018, Gutierrez actually finished you, but it was up a weight class. It was at 135 pounds. When you look at the fighter you were then fighting, Gutierrez at 135 versus where you are now in the UFC, and then you look at what Cody did in that fight against Chris, like how are you processing all that? Like, do you feel like you're just a little bit more confident now? You're just a better fighter? Like, what was your take on your performance then versus what he did against Chris?
Oh man, when I fought Chris, it was totally different. Like you said, I moved up in weight. I was on a 2-fight win streak, and I knew a win over Chris was going to get me to the next level. So we took that fight versus Chris, and it didn't work out. But prior to that fight, I've never had a striking coach. I lost to Chris. I had a couple more fights, and then I fought Ray Rodriguez, I believe, and I lost to Ray Rodriguez at 135 as well by knockout. And that was the ugliest I've ever been knocked out. Ray caught me with some elbows to the side of the head and actually put me to sleep, you know. So after that happened, I got 4 losses by knockout, and I knew things had to change. And I reached out to Leo from Forza Combat Sports here in Broken Arrow. Forza Combat Sports here in Broken Arrow, and he's a Muay Thai coach. And I asked him if he would be willing to work with me. I was tired of getting knocked out, and I know I have everything in my playbook to be able to finish these guys no matter where the fight goes. But I prefer the ground. But now I'm more confident on the stand-up, and I can't wait to just keep proving myself. On a 3-fight winning streak with 3 finishes, and I finished 2 guys that's never been finished as a professional already. So I plan on doing the same with Cody Durden. I'm gonna put him to sleep. If he don't tap, I'm gonna break his arm or I'm gonna knock him out. It's killed or be killed out there. And like you said, I want that $50,000, dude. That's a dream come true right there. I don't even make that much money in a year, so to make it in one night would be amazing.
Interesting stylistic matchup. Cody comes from a wrestling background. He's got good takedown defense. And I don't necessarily want to say that he's talked much on social media. He's never mentioned your name. He has said that he feels like he's going to get a finish in this fight. Do you feel like if he is able to stuff your takedowns and this fight remains on the feet, that you're the better striker than him?
Oh, 100%, man. I think I'm better than him everywhere. As a professional, I've never been taken down. And he's dropped my name on Twitter. If you go check Twitter, he said that everybody's talking up that I got too much height. And if I'm not ready for his double leg, I'm fucked and all kinds of stuff. And then he did say the fight's not going to a decision. And I was like, well, of course it's not going to a decision because I'm putting you to sleep, homie. So, I'm confident, man. I love his style. I love my style. And I think it's going to make for a great fight. And the flyweights are really going to get put on notice after I go out here and finish him.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for this fight. What round do you feel like you're going to get the victory in?
It doesn't matter, man. As you can see in the Nate fight, and you can see in all my other fights, it don't matter if it's 30 seconds or 30 minutes, man. I can finish at the end and I can finish at the beginning. It's up to him, you know. Let's see how much heart he has. Let's see how much he wants it. Let's see who wants it worse, you know. And as a professional fighter, just so you know, Cody, I've never been taken down, buddy. So I've been on my back from slipping from kicks and stuff like that. But as ever been taken down, I've never been taken down as a professional fighter. And I'm not going to let him take me down. If he does take me down, he's getting put in a choke and he's going to sleep.
Well, again, man, I cannot wait for this fight. Jimmy the Brick Flick will make his UFC debut December the 5th at UFC Vegas 16 against Cody Durden. Always a pleasure talking to you, my friend. Before I let you go, if you want to plug your social media or anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
Yes, man, I appreciate it. If you can follow me at Jimmy the Brick Flick, my fan page. I'm out of friend request on my personal Facebook. I have Twitter at Jimmy Flick, and I'm on Instagram at The Brick MMA. I'd like to give a shout out to all my sponsors: Harvest Health, Core Hog, Paint It Right Tulsa, Industrial Motor Services, Code Zero Customs, Simpsons Truck Line, The Plug 918, Seth from Keller Williams Realty, Primary Colors Retro Relics, Keystone Chevrolet in Sand Springs, Ryan and Rose Roofing, Evolved Health and Wellness, Big Elks Energy and Gas, Broadway Barbershop, HKA USA, Fighting for Autism. Thank you, Jeremy White. The Office on Main in Sand Springs, Beer Drinking Club, Gary's Truck and Trailer Services, All Britain Plumbing, Tulsa Plastics, Micah Stockton with New York Live, CrossFit Sand Springs, Forza Combat Fitness, Thunder Kick Tulsa, Blue Line Signs, Tulsa Sport Acupuncture, and Tulsa Guttering. If it wasn't for all of them, man, I wouldn't be able to train as hard as I can. I'm a part-time employee. We're looking to go get that 50,000. We're looking to become a full-time MMA fighter in 2021. So it's just the little bitty goals, and all the help from everybody. I really appreciate it, and I can't thank y'all enough. And thank you for bringing me on and giving me this interview, man.
Hey, always a pleasure. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, man. You have the sponsorship game on lock. Nobody does it better than you. Thanks for the time, bud. I look forward to doing this again soon.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and you have a good one.